I can have like a mediocre meal, but if like people are like busting their ass and like I get good service and like people are super friendly there, then like that is like an A plus place in my head because ultimately, it's about the people putting their heart and soul into it and such. But like obviously the food's great, but I just love being able to go somewhere and feel like I'm a part of like their little community and stuff. And
Welcome back, everybody, to the Creative Crunch podcast. This is our second episode of the year, and it's the second week of the year, which is insane. I don't think we've ever been that consistent, at least not yet.
Yeah.
Today, we have a very special guest, and I'm going to take no time to get into an introduction. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our next guest, a true foodie, food lover with a passion for trying new restaurants and exploring the culinary scene. Not only is she an expert in discovering hidden gems, but she's also known for her impressive dance moves that Ben and I got to witness at a wedding this past year, 2 years ago. I can't even remember.
How long ago was that? Year and a half ago, year and a couple months.
Year and a half ago, however long ago Michaela Adams was. Hailing from Nashville, she's in her 20-somethings, according to her Instagram, and she's bringing a fresh perspective to the food scene. So please, let's give a warm welcome to Annie Freshly.
Yay. Thanks, guys. Woo!
So we've had some technical difficulties a little bit with the other program we were using, so we're starting fresh. So
that's why we're all giggly and weird right now.
Yeah, not that anyone needs to know that, but I thought we'd throw that out there. So, Annie, again, for the second time, do you just want to give everyone, our listeners, our viewers, everyone, just a quick introduction on who you are and what you do?
Yes. Yeah. So my name is Annie, and I am currently living in Nashville. I am originally from Iowa, Quad City area. I started Annie's QC Eats in the end of summer 2020. I was doing a clinical rotation out in Kansas City. And whenever I go to a new town, I usually like to go onto Instagram and type in, Kansas City foodie, Chicago foodie, and had this realization that the Quad Cities doesn't really have anything like that. So with that, and then realizing too, restaurants were struggling with COVID and getting people in the doors, I thought it was a perfect opportunity for me to start the account that way. So I do that, and I'm an OT. I bartend in my free time too when I'm at home. So keep them busy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I know this is just a little, we've already talked about this stuff, so it feels a little bit weird. But like I said, let's just flow through this intro until we get to where we were. So, so you're now in Nashville, and that's for your OT job, right?
Yeah.
But your love and the start for your food, what would you call it? Foodiness, your foodie lifestyle, your foodie account.
Foodie, yeah.
Is foodie a word?
I don't know. All the above? I don't know.
All the above.
Foodie? I feel like Urban Dictionary would say yes. I don't know. It's like the Webster Dictionary.
It doesn't matter. I think
what is your definition of foodie, Annie?
A foodie? I feel like everyone's a foodie in their own way. Like a foodie is someone that like truly loves the food experience, which is like the food, the service, the actual going out to eat. But I guess also it could be like they love to cook at home too. So, yeah. Are you big foodies?
I mean, I enjoy food. Ben is probably food. Ben is probably the farthest thing from a foodie. Ben has this.
I'm a foodie in the sense that I like food. Like, I don't. It can be the ramen noodles, or it can be the most extravagant meal, and I'm like, yes, this is gonna take away my appetite. Like the thought process that goes into deciding what you want to eat and what you want to create is just so exhausting to me. I'm just like, what's the easiest and most convenient thing that will give me all the nutrients that I need? That's
Ben,
my thought process, but it's because I am such a bad decision maker. I want someone to present me with the food rather than have to decide what I'm going to eat. So I
That's
love
fair.
good food. I love good food, but I hate having to
Yep.
decide. When I go to a restaurant, I'm like, what is the most popular item on your menu? And I'm like, that's what I want.
take it.
Yeah. See, I get really jealous of other people, like what they get, you know? Like
Mhm.
a lot of the time too, I base my decision on what they're getting because I don't want them to get something and I'll be like, I wish I would have gotten that, you
Can I
know?
also have what they're having too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take 2 entrees. I know I did
Ben,
that like last week. I went to some sushi place and like I really wanted sushi, but they also had pad thai.
Oh,
My friend was getting pad thai, so I'm like, I'll do both because I don't want to be upset.
hey, that makes sense. I've done that a fair share of times too. Is get a couple things on the menu. Ben has this weird theory though. He's like, if he could just be hooked up to an IV that just pumps the nutrients and proteins and everything that he needs, he would just do that. But every time you say that, it just makes me feel so weird about
yeah,
you
I
and
don't
our
know. I feel
friendship.
like I would maybe if I did that, I feel like I would maybe like it for, I don't know, for a little while. I'd be like, this is nice. I don't have to think about eating ever. I don't have to worry about it. I feel the same way about sleeping. I hate that I have to sleep at night to recharge my body. Like I feel like I could get way more done if I didn't have to do either of those things. It just feels like a,
Two very vital things for
yeah,
health.
exactly.
But like just giving up the fun part of eating is like, maybe Annie, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's the taste of everything. It's like the experience, the
Yeah.
taste. And if you're just getting it through fluids, I don't know, doesn't takes it away. But I
I
thought
do
I'd
get that.
To each their own.
to each their own. Yeah, yeah. Ben makes a
Um,
pretty mean chili though, so he's pretty good. I'd say you're a chili foodie. I don't know. We're making up words now.
I do like chili. But I hate making it. I'm like, okay, this is my thought process. Hear me out. If it's gonna take me 2 hours to make it, that food better last me 2 hours worth of like eating. And when I say 2 hours worth of eating, I'm saying like, okay, if I can eat one meal in 10 minutes, divvy that out to 2 hours, how many meals is that? That should last me that many meals. I just feel like there has to be a better balance. I want to be able to cook it as fast as I can eat it. That's why going to the restaurant is nice because you can you don't have to do anything. They
You
bring
just
it to
enjoy.
you. No
You just
prep.
enjoy it. Yeah.
The deciding part. I look at these menus and there's just lists and lists, and I'm like, oh my God, how do I do this?
It's like a cheesecake factory when it's like a book, and you're
I
just
just,
like, what
yeah,
do I do
Oh,
with this?
so
just give me
much.
pictures. Like that's the
Like this
Okay.
is a short story.
I
exactly.
I'm happy Ben shared his view on that. It's interesting to me, but I guess
Huh.
you do say when you're talking about cooking specifically, it's just the whole
It's
process
mainly
of
the
that and
cooking.
the cleaning up and stuff. And you're also just working all the time, so it might be easy to give up that hour. But
I
anyways,
think
before go
I think
ahead.
it's
Sorry.
really cool though to see people that are passionate about cooking or like your food, like your interests. There's something of like it doesn't even have to be food related. Anything that people are passionate about, I'm like, dang, that's pretty cool. I'm pretty jealous of that. Something
So,
that I am
But
not passionate about, I'm like, damn, I wish I was
sure.
passionate about that.
mhm.
I was gonna say because I look at you guys and I'm like, I think it's really cool how passionate you guys are about what you do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, very cool. That brings up a good question too. Do you enjoy cooking, or do you just enjoy the going out and trying other people's, like trying chef stuff?
Yeah, I like cooking for other people. Like
Okay.
I don't cook for myself. I like if I have guests over or like if I cook for my family, that's one thing, but I will never like make a nice meal for myself, you know? It's just not as
Yeah.
fun. Like the whole thing cooking is like sharing it and like having the social aspect of it.
All right, I got a question. This something just
Yeah.
came up.
Okay.
Are you guys in this current moment? Are you guys thinking ahead about what you're planning to eat in the next hour or tonight or even like later this week? Because in my head, that's literally not even a second of my thought. I couldn't tell you what I'm going to eat in the next hour. I'm going to walk downstairs probably and be like, what is easy? And I'll
Yeah.
make that or I'll heat something up again. Do you guys,
So
because
again, like
meal
Go
prepping is
ahead.
just exhausting. I don't know how people do it. I'm gonna have to learn that skill as
Yeah.
I have a kid coming here soon. But like, I don't know how people do it.
You have a kid coming?
Yeah, here in a couple weeks,
In
actually.
like 2 weeks. Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah. Oh,
congratulations.
thank you. Yeah, we're excited.
Wow. No, I would say I don't, but like I have a guest coming and I plan out like all the meals for
Mm,
like where we're gonna go to eat and stuff.
that's
But
nice.
yeah, so like I don't
Yeah,
really
that
do it
would
for
be
my
so nice. I bet when people ask you, "Hey, what do you recommend for this place?" and you're like, "Oh, let me tell you."
like
When
I
people
got
ask
you.
me, I'm
Yeah.
like, "There's a McDonald's down the road." Yeah.
Get a quarter
I,
pounder with cheese.
I feel like I just say the common things that anybody could go to.
Okay, another question. Do you guys like McDonald's? I
That's a
get like
great.
I get kind of mad when people are like, no. And I'm like, yeah, you do. Like, don't lie.
Oh my gosh.
Some would say that we love McDonald's even. Um, it's so funny. It's so funny you brought that up.
Right.
We that is what gets us through wedding season. That is all we eat. During a wedding day, a wedding season, the day
It's
after
like
a
a
wedding.
tradition. So
It's because
we call it Tub Town. That's what we call it. I don't know when that started. I don't know when that started.
I don't
But
know.
we're always like, it's a start of our day. And then we get done with the wedding and we're like, are we hitting up Tub Town? And we're like,
Yeah,
yeah, we're going down.
Why do you
we
call it that?
Ben and I don't even know where this story originated from, but I think it's like when we around the first time we started talking about each other's tubs, like our stomach, like our the beer gut, the food gut, whatever, and we just call it tub. And I don't know who started it, but we're like, instead of McDonald's, let's just call it Tub Town. And it stuck. And I like when you said, do you guys like McDonald's? It took me a second to process what McDonald's is, because it's
What is
just
that
ingrained
like?
in it's Tub Town. But that is hilarious that you bring it up. Yes, we love it.
We
It
talk
Okay,
about the
good.
rewards all the time. We're like, we're trying to
yeah.
get points and stuff for it.
There's even like these message, like phone things at weddings that you can leave a message on, and Ben and I will always hit them up and talk about McDonald's rewards and all this stuff. It sounds like we eat it every day. We don't, but every time we're together, I'm sure there will be a McDonald's stop, either for breakfast or at the end of the day.
Yeah,
But
we have a
I love
wedding.
that.
We have a wedding in Texas here in February or in March that Reed's gonna come with me to. And I sent him a TikTok just yesterday where it was showing the very first automated McDonald's where there's like no workers there. And I was like, yo, we're gonna make a stop here on the way.
You have to.
Yeah.
We have a ridiculous goal of trying to find the best of the best McDonald's in the nation. So that's our next endeavor after weddings, I think.
Another thing that we do is I do this with a lot of places, but I try to take these pictures.
Oh my gosh.
And so I'll take these pictures and I'll post it as a review on like on Google when people search McDonald's, because it's my goal to get that picture to be the first photo that shows up when they search. So if you search McDonald's, I don't think it's the first picture that shows up, but it is in one of the pictures on Fleur
right now.
Drive in Des Moines. Let's see if it.
I'm curious what number that photo comes up at.
I'm looking right now.
There's okay, so there's the it's like photo number 12 or something right now.
Is it? Wait.
So
there's one of
Which
Reed.
one is it?
So what is the first couple photos you see? Are they just like the McDonald's photos?
Yeah, and then there's one of someone's hands opening. Oh, there's no meat in that one. They must have been upset.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
so
keep
it's just a
going.
couple photos after. It's like 6 photos after that. There's one of Reed sitting
Oh, yep, just lounging. Yep.
with his feet like
so ridiculous.
So I try to like look at that photo occasionally to get the view count to go up, because I want it to be. I do that at like all these other McDonald's too, because I want them to be like the first
Epic.
photo that shows up when people search McDonald's.
Oh my god.
That is so funny. Oh my
So
gosh.
if you
So yes,
haven't,
you do like McDonald's.
yes, that's
Yeah.
Long story short.
Long story short, we love McDonald's and we always will.
that
I'm
gives me a
assuming
thought though. So this thing with photos, you
Uh-huh.
should do that for places. I imagine you probably do that on your Instagram and stuff. But if you also create a Gmail for Annie Eats, was that what we sent to this thing? I mean,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
QC Eats.
You create a thing and then you can review places on Google, and your photo will show up and it'll say like, "Oh, Annie's Eats," and then people can like
That is
follow
so
you on
smart.
Google.
Yeah.
So like when people search, like one in for instance for me, when people search Walker Homestead, which is a wedding venue in
Mhm.
Iowa, the photo that I took is the first photo that shows up. Now I don't know if
Oh,
that's
that's
big
awesome.
business, but like it's just an
It's
easy. It's kind of a fun little hobby of mine,
it's
honestly.
No, that's cool. Definitely
Um,
get your name out.
But yeah, just review stuff on like the stuff you post on Instagram. Just post that on Google too, like as
Yeah.
reviews.
Good
so
idea.
I'm curious, Annie. You
Mhm.
mentioned that you're lying if you say you don't like McDonald's. So I'm assuming you have a little liking for McDonald's.
I do. I love
Okay.
McDonald's.
So
I am a quarter pounder girl, fries, pop, and then I'm a big what's it called? Shamrock Shake girl. And those are coming up.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah, March.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
would you say McDonald's is number one, or what are your top three fast food?
Oh gosh, this is hard. Okay, let's do like if I could only have three for the rest of my life. You guys have to do this too. Okay. McDonald's. I think I would need something somewhat healthy, so maybe like a Jimmy John's. And was that fast food? Are we calling that fast food?
Yeah, the freaky fast. I used to
Yeah.
work there, and it's
Okay.
fast food.
And they're pretty fast. Okay.
Absolutely.
And okay, this one's hard because I would either do Chipotle or Chick-fil-A, so I can't decide.
Mm.
How about you guys?
That's a good list. I'm
Thanks.
I'm rethinking my list because I like the idea of having a healthier option in there too. But I'd have to go. We're giving so much hype to McDonald's, so I'd have to go McDonald's number one. I love Raising Cane's, so I'd have to go Raising Cane's number two.
Okay.
But number three, I wanted to say Pancheros, but since it's not very healthy, no, Panera's not fast food, is it? I'd go.
It could
I don't
be.
know. That's pretty good.
But it's not fast food. Well, you know what? I'll go
It's
Subway. I'll stick with the sub route just because I worked at Jimmy John's for so long. I'm kind of sick of it, honestly. So
Yeah.
Oh, but speaking of Subway, we call Subway Tubway.
Oh, yeah, we do.
You guys just have all of these names for all these different places.
We're honestly working on it. We've only got the two, Tubtown and Tubway, I think.
McDonald's is contagious because I've called that. I'll be like, Lauren, do you want to go to Tubtown? And she's like, what? Who? Where?
Where are we going?
So
No,
like,
I used to. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying it's starting to replace McDonald's, and I am forgetting what the actual name is.
Mhm.
We would call McDonald's Ronnie's Steakhouse. It would
Oh,
be like one of
that's a
the
good one.
Ronnie's. Yeah.
that's
good.
Okay. Like how podcasts go, we've probably talked the last 15 minutes about McDonald's, which is
About
great,
nothing, yeah.
which is awesome. But we really want to dive into like what you do with your local restaurants, with all the restaurants you go and you do these reviews. So let's just hop into the next question too. Otherwise, we'll talk about Tubtown or McDonald's for the rest of the episode. But so when you're going to a restaurant, what makes it a great dining experience for you? Is it more the food? Is it more the service? Is it just the whole atmosphere, everything together? I'm curious, what is it that you see that you're like, that was a great experience for me?
Yeah. So I feel like I've said this a lot, like on my Instagram page too, that like I can have like a mediocre meal, but if like people are like busting their ass and like I get good service and like people are super friendly there, then like that is like an A+ place in my head, because ultimately it's about the people putting their heart and soul into it and such. But like, obviously the food's great, but I just love being able to go somewhere and feel like I'm a part of like their little community and stuff. And
Mm.
I just love being able to like have conversations with workers and stuff too, and making me feel like I'm at home. Like when I sit up at a bar and like talk to a bartender, stuff like that. So that's how I feel at least. Yeah.
That's so
Yeah,
cool.
that's awesome. I think especially in the food industry is like the experience is what's so important. Like obviously if something tastes good, that's super great.
Right.
But
Yeah.
just you go, I feel like you go out to dinner, you go out to a restaurant for the experience more than you go out for the food. The food's just a part of it, I feel like. And maybe that's just me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm very experience focused. Like my personality is just that way. But yeah, I'd probably say the same thing. And just like if people are just working hard and treating you kindly, and like you said, you're a part of the community, what they have going on there.
Yeah.
It's always 10 out of 10.
Like you can have like a great meal, but if like you feel like a bother when you're there, you're like, okay, this isn't a good experience. Like this hinders my whole experience. So
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Do you think you'll ever post a bad review?
oh, absolutely not. Like I've
Yeah,
had bad experiences and I've just like chosen not to post
not worth the
or like
post. Yeah.
yeah, or I've been in the like scenario where like someone has paid me to post, but it was like a super bad experience. And so I just kept the post like super short and sweet. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like I didn't really want to go out of my way to give them a good caption or review just because
I wonder
of
how.
sorry, go
I
ahead.
wonder if I wonder if you could get to a point where I don't know how you do this, but where you can they like know that you're coming. They're like, "Hey guys, we gotta get ready. Annie's coming tonight. We gotta have this thing in tip top shape." Or
And
if
like
it's
I've had that and it's so cool. Like I
that,
went
yeah,
somewhere, yeah, it was oh my goodness. It was like a place I had never heard of in Davenport. It was like in a little hotel. And they like the bar like everyone knew I was there. Like the manager came out and graded me, like the bartender, servers and stuff, like everything. They just kept handing me like all these appetizers to try and like drinks to try. And it was just like an incredible experience. And that was something where I was like, wow, like this is something that I would love to do like as a living every day because it's so cool too to meet all these people and like see who's like the backbone of these businesses.
have you considered starting a TikTok?
Um, yes and no. One, you guys don't make fun of me. One, it weirds me out that the Chinese own TikTok.
Okay.
And two, um, I need to like definitely put more time into making the videos and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah, it
I
is a
haven't put
pain.
the effort into that.
Yeah,
But
Yeah, reels are a pain.
it's a
yeah,
lot. It's a lot of work, honestly.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
have you ever done like maybe not like an interview with maybe a restaurant owner or like a manager, or like if you had such a good experience, you're like, I just want to meet this person, like get to know them and pick their brain. Have you ever done like some type of sit down and be like, let me just ask you questions about like what you do and anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this account has like allowed me to meet so many different people.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know if you guys have heard of Armored Gardens at all or like Analog.
Sounds
So those
familiar.
are like two pretty popular places here. Analog is like an arcade bar. Armored Gardens has like a beautiful patio and like 100 beers on tap. Um, and then they have another bar too. But like I met the owner over Instagram and I ended up doing some of their social media over the summer. But it was just like that was one example of like a relationship that I was able to make over my Instagram. And like Dan Bush, the owner, like, and I now have a really good relationship. And I've talked to him a lot about my account and like he's been a really good mentor towards me of
That's
like
cool.
trying to grow my social media presence. So like Instagram is such a cool world where you can meet so many people
Mm-hmm.
and like make all these connections. And I'm sure you guys know that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a love-hate relationship with social media, but I think the
Oh,
best
for
thing
sure. Yeah.
the best thing that definitely comes out of it, it is a great way with connecting with people and meeting with people. I think we mentioned in the first attempt at the podcast that we met you at a wedding with when you had beers on your head. But I mean, Instagram was,
Way
we
to put
didn't
me
like
on
just,
blast.
yeah, sorry. I wanted to make sure people still knew about that, even though that last episode didn't work out. But yeah, Instagram, I mean, that's kind of, yes, we met that way, but that's how we connected, because we found your Instagram after that wedding and we're like, oh, this is really cool stuff. This would be a cool person to bring on the podcast. And then, I mean, we've communicated through email, but also Instagram DMs and all that stuff. So it's a great way to connect. And that's by far my favorite part of social media and all that stuff. So I totally see
Yeah.
it.
One of my couples, she, I'm not sure what she does for a living, but she has a Instagram account that's called Kenzie's Kitchen. It's very similar to what you do, but it's all in the kitchen, all stuff she makes. And I think that stuff is so cool. And it, like I was saying earlier, I'm not huge into like deciding what I want to cook and all that stuff, but man, whenever I see people post food stuff like that, I'm like, okay, I would eat that for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's cool.
I wish I could just go to a restaurant and be like, this is what Annie recommended. Can I just have this thing here?
Well, yeah, we'll just pull up your Instagram and it's like, we'll take this.
I'll take this.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why it would be nice to, like, if you could have a Annie's selections, or what would be a good name for a title? I mean, it could literally be Annie's Eats, and then it would be numbers 1 through 3, and then you explain why. I'd be like, number 1, that sounds good. I'll do number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would definitely trust your recommendations over like someone like Ben or anyone else. Just
someone like Ben.
Tubtown. Yeah.
Tubtown, yeah. Because with Ben, we'll just end up at Tubtown, and we'll always just end up back there.
I'm like, I've got this place for you, and then we roll into Tubtown.
So say I'm a restaurant, like I'm a restaurant owner, and I don't really know. Obviously, I'd be a bad restaurant owner if I didn't know about like the food scene really well, or what, like being a foodie or food critic or reviewer. But say I wanted to have you come to my restaurant and review something. What does that look like when someone reaches out to you? Do they just say, hey, you should come try like this specific meal, or do they, what's that kind of look like?
Yeah, excuse me. So either they'll say like they have something new on the menu, or like they're trying to push some like a seasonal menu or something like that. Like I've had me and Billy reach out and they have like their which is, I'm sorry, a restaurant bar here in downtown Davenport. They have seasonal menus, so they'll reach out to me when they change their menu and be like, hey, if you want to feature our cocktails or so and so. Otherwise, for me, I'll reach out to them and kind of do the vice versa. Like, hey, I saw you have this new thing on the menu. Like, I would love to try it and put it on my page and blah, blah, blah. The hard thing about the Quad Cities, which I love the Quad Cities, but they can be a little bit behind on some of those things, like behind on their social media marketing. So sometimes it is a little bit more challenging to get people on your side to be like, this, like I have the analytics right here on my phone of how like me posting about this is going to be really good advertising, but they just don't quite understand it. So it's very much an educational process though too, of like, if I pull up a past post and be like, this is how many people interacted with it, this is how many people saw the post. So that's been like the hardest part, I would say, of it too.
Yeah, you definitely have to get recognized, probably, especially in yours. I mean, it's definitely something that I think will come over time. People will be like, have you heard of Annie Eats? And then they'll like share it with their friends, or like maybe somebody that works at this restaurant will be like, oh, I think is there any way, do you post in advance? Like, oh, checking out this restaurant tonight or something?
Yeah, I do that sometimes. And then it's kind of funny because people will like respond and be like, try this, like get this, or maybe I'll do a poll of like, should I get this tonight or this? And people will like weigh in. So that's kind of a fun way to get people like interacting with my stuff too.
That's cool. That's a cool. Yeah, that's a good idea. How else could you get people to interact with your stuff? Like,
I know. I do a lot of like polls sometimes on my page or
yeah.
like, um, gosh, I'm trying to think of, oh, there was one that I did that was like your unpopular food opinion.
Oh
And
yeah.
people were loving that. Like, gosh, what were some of them? Someone said matcha tastes like grass. Um, like pineapple on pizza. I don't know, where some of them. Do you
What do
guys
you?
have any unpopular food opinions?
Well, I was just gonna ask you, what do you think your most unpopular food opinion is?
Um, I need a minute. Do you guys think of yours?
Wait,
I
I
gotta
need to know
think.
what an unpopular food opinion is. I don't. What is that?
I guess just like something that's against the norm. So like I said, like
Okay.
the pineapple on pizza.
Ah,
Someone
Tubtown
said
probably.
like
Ben's would be just give him an IV of nutrients and he'd be set.
Unpopular
some
food opinion.
I'm
yeah, I'm
trying to
gonna look
think.
up some of the ones. Someone was like mayonnaise over ketchup for dipping your fries. I remember that was one.
Oh, that's a not a bad one because I like to mix ketchup and mayo when I have like French fries and stuff. I think that's a nice
Really? Like
mix.
mix them together?
Hmm. Yeah, I think they actually
Oh,
in grocery stores. I think they have Heinz has like a specific thing that's already mixed all together. Um, I don't know if that'd be unpopular though. I feel like a lot of people do that.
I like taking vanilla wafers. I literally will do
yeah,
this. I literally did this last night. I will.
I'm ready.
I don't know if this is weird or not,
It's
but
weird. I
I
think it's
think
It
it's
weird.
probably is, but that's
incredible.
okay.
I will bring up a big mug, like not, I mean, it'll be like this, and I'll
Yes.
fill it with milk, and I'll take a box of vanilla wafers, and I will legitimately, I'll be like, I'll pour in like mini vanilla wafers into this cup, and I will eat it like cereal. And then once I eat all the things, then
No,
I'll
I
pour
don't,
more, and they'll be so soggy, but man, it is the best thing in the world. That's probably literally
I
like my
bet.
favorite thing in the world. I don't know
No,
why.
like Chips Ahoy and like
Honestly,
Oreos, just like
any
throwing them
cookies, any
in.
cookies,
Yeah.
that's probably my
Yeah.
favorite meal. I wish I
Okay,
could
I'm
do
gonna
that.
read off a couple of them. Are ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Chick-fil-A fries are too soggy. Do we agree or no?
I guess it depends what Chick-fil-A you go into. And I feel like if you go during a busier time like lunch or dinner, you'll probably get decent fries. But
Weird
I'd say
thing,
no. I don't think I've really had a bad experience with Chick-fil-A fries.
I think Chick-fil-A fries are actually one of my more favorite fries, but I think part of that is because of the Chick-fil-A sauce. But
Mm.
speaking of fries, weirdly, I'm so not picky about any food, but fries, anything fried, I don't like.
What do
I
you
don't know why. I think it's like the breading that it creates on it.
so
Now
you like fries,
fries,
but you don't like fried chicken or something like that?
yeah, I always get grilled
Okay.
chicken or grilled, like I like fish to be, I don't want to have to get through that crispy, like there's something about that layer that it puts on stuff that I don't know. I just can't eat it very
Yeah,
much. Like chicken
you're getting
nuggets are
worked up.
barely eatable. Fries,
Barely.
though, are probably the closest thing to something fried that I will eat,
That
but I can't even eat that many of them. But
I'd say that's a good
Okay.
unpopular food opinion because I
That
bet
is, yeah.
many people would disagree with you on that one.
but
But
Chick-fil-A
Nah.
fries, I actually like them because I feel like I can get like they're just more dip to fry ratio. Like there's more on it with the
yeah,
waffle fries.
yeah. I
Yeah.
think the thicker they are, the more soggy they probably get with the Chick-fil-A fries there. But I don't know. I can't remember like a majority of the fries that you get when you get Chick-fil-A, I feel are pretty crispy and good. But
I
Freddy
don't
fries are probably the best.
Freddy fries are good. Have you had
I've
Freddy's
never
before?
had Freddy's. No, but
Annie,
Oh my
everyone says
gosh,
what?
it's so
they're
good.
like
I
tiny
know.
fries, and so they're like very crispy, and it comes in this
Yeah.
like circular cup, so it feels
Okay.
like you're eating something like vintage.
Mm.
It's good. You should get those today, probably.
Today. Okay. I'll see if there's one here. And then I
Okay, sorry.
will.
Next, next
Whenever,
question.
whenever, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
This one I feel very passionate about. Okay.
Wait, did we know what yours was
Yeah.
That is
about the
too soggy or
fries?
not? Oh, I think they're fine. I think that person was being
Yeah.
dramatic, whoever
Okay,
that was.
okay.
They probably
Okay.
listen to this.
I know. Yeah, I'm gonna lose a follower. It's fine. Okay. Regular Reese's are better than the egg and Christmas tree Reese's. So
I
I
think
actually
so.
made this one because I think that the peanut butter ratio is too heavy in the egg and Christmas trees.
Yeah, I think it's a little overwhelming.
Thank you.
I'd say the OG.
Reese's is
Everyone
probably another
said,
top thing for me. I love Reese's.
yeah.
Ben just loves
Okay.
sugar,
Yeah. Anything good. I love
sugar
all
and
good.
salt.
Okay. 1 second. Pie better than cake. I
Yeah,
have to disagree.
I agree. I don't
Oh,
actually like cake that much.
Yeah, I think
you
I like
don't?
pie. I like pie over cake too.
I think cake, a lot of times there's just too much frosting. Frosting is one of those things that I can I'll eat like a spoon of it. And I'm like, okay, my stomach hurts. I don't know why,
Yeah.
because I love sweet stuff, but frosting for some reason, when for me, I think there has to be the perfect amount of moistness and dryness. And sometimes there's
Yeah,
just too much frosting. It's like, yo, chill with the frosting.
Is
for
moistness a
sure.
word? Or are you thinking of too much moisture? Moistness? Interesting. I don't think
I
it's a
can't even
word.
say it.
Hey, Google, is moistness a word?
On the website dictionary.cambridge.org, they say the quality of being slightly wet, especially.
I think it might be. You might be onto something. Hey, Google, stop.
So there has to be a perfect balance, I feel like.
Moistness.
I will eat a good cake that has the perfect ratio, but I feel like 85% of cakes are made incorrectly. In my opinion, though. I'm not
Maybe you should be a baker.
Yeah.
I'm not a big sweet guy. So I think if I had to pick, I think it would be pie, honestly.
Huh. Yeah,
Pie
I
is good,
have
but
to
I
have a
hate
sweet
pie
every day.
crust.
What?
I have to have a sweet every day.
Really?
Yeah, me too.
I could go forever without having something sweet, probably.
Pie?
Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna
Go
say
ahead.
pie. I think I
Talk
would
about your
choose
pie.
pie over cake, but I don't like pie crust.
I
So,
hate pie crust.
I just
think
like
it's
to
so
I wish if I
stupid.
could just scoop the middle out and eat the middle, but I feel like I'm
Yeah.
wasting so much of the pie.
I love pie crust.
Graham
That's my
cracker
favorite
crust
part.
is good, but regular pie crust I think is weird.
Now I will eat a chicken pot pie. Oof. That will just there's something about the whatever they put in that thing with the pie crust just makes it's kind of like dipping cookies into milk, but it's not that though.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Next.
Okay. Let's do one more. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. I would drink ranch dressing. Here's my thing about ranch. I love ranch, but I think that Midwest people have this really weird infatuation with it.
Yeah, I mean I like ranch. I feel like I have to have it for my B-dubs. I feel like I have to. But other than that,
don't you think people are very much hype it up?
Yeah, other than
I
that,
think
I don't really need it. Some people need it for pizza, and I'm like, I don't know, I don't need it for pizza. And
maybe I might be a little biased. I'm lactose intolerant, so I stay away from ranch anyway. But when I do have it, it's just for if I have wings, or I'm not I need it for everything, and I would never drink it. That sounds disgusting, actually.
well, that'd be a gut ache, probably.
The people voted, and they're like, "Yeah, me too." And I'm like, "You guys are
I'm
weird."
gonna try to take
However,
a couple sips of it later.
I would drink Raisin Cane sauce, which I don't know if either of you have had.
I've never had.
That's how I feel about Chick-fil-A sauce.
Yeah,
I would probably
I don't
drink
know.
Chick-fil-A sauce.
Maybe I'm a hypocrite, but
Do you like Chick-fil-A sauce?
Oh yeah, it's great.
It's probably the best sauce ever made in the world.
Raisin Canes.
That's
too,
a bold
though.
statement, but okay.
I'm trying to think if
The
there's a
best
better
sauce
sauce.
ever made in the world.
There,
This podcast is sponsored by Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A, yeah.
Chick-fil-A, please send us all of your sauce.
Yeah, you don't have to pay us in money, just a lifetime supply of Chick-fil-A sauce. We'll do the
they
trick.
sell that at the grocery store, right?
I know. I've had my fair share of them.
Hold on a second. I'm
Dangerous.
gonna crank my desk up It's very medieval style, but I'm just gonna crank it up quick so I can stand because I'm getting tired of sitting.
Okay. Wait,
Down.
let's. Yeah, good job, Ben. Keep cranking it. I guess interesting.
All right,
Are you
there we go.
back? Are we good?
I'm back. Yep.
You're good. We're standing. We feel better.
I was too cheap to buy an electronic standing desk, so
I don't have an electronic one either,
I
and
just got
it
a crank one.
Okay. So where are we? We've just, like I said, we just started talking and now can't even figure out where the questions
Now we're
are.
talking about Chick-fil-A sauce.
Yeah, it was McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, unpopular food opinions.
Actually, I'm curious, when you go to a restaurant,
Mm-hmm.
like for me, when I go to a restaurant, I feel like I have things in mind. Like I'm like, probably something chicken, like your protein, like you're looking for some sort of protein. Do you have that, or are you kind of going in with like this open book, like, oh, maybe I'll have fish today, maybe I'm gonna have steak, maybe. I feel like I have these things. Like I go to a Mexican restaurant, I'm like probably gonna get a quesadilla, with chicken.
I feel like I'm always like, what's the most popular, or like give me like the top 3 most popular, and then I'll like choose from there if I'm in a bind.
Do you read the full menu every time you go to a new place?
So I feel like I'm like kind of embarrassing, and I'll like look at it before I even go to the restaurant. You know,
I don't think that's. I've heard people do that too.
A lot of people do that. I wish I did that too, but I'm the same way. I'll just ask the waiter or waitress, like, what's your favorite? And then they say 2 things, and then I say, choose for me, because I'm kind of like Ben when it comes to choosing things. I'm not very picky as long as there's no dairy or ranch all over.
I don't know why I do this. They literally will hand me a menu and I'll like open it. I'm like, all right, what am I gonna eat? And as soon as I open it, I'm like, this is too much to look at.
I'm overwhelmed.
I'm like, what's the best? Like I don't know why I even open it, because I'm like, there's literally, this would take me forever to read. So I'm just forever. Like, what's the best thing to order?
Yeah. Like what are you most known for? Yeah.
Okay. So if Gordon Ramsay just showed up to your place and he said, you have to take me to the best restaurant that you've ever been, it can be anywhere in the world, and you have to impress him, where would you go? Can be Quad Cities, can be Nashville, can be anywhere.
Tubtown. I'm just kidding.
Gosh, that would be awesome. Blindfold him.
That's too hard. Can we keep it Quad Cities?
Let's go Quad Cities. He's in the Quad Cities. You guys are hanging out because you've blown up on Instagram. He wants to hang out with Annie QC Eats. Where are we taking him to impress him?
Okay, I think that, like, oh guys, this is hard. There's a place downtown called the Half Nelson that I really like. I think we would go there, and then we would go to get some ice cream at Whitey's after.
What's he getting at the Half Nelson though? You have to pick his meal too.
You guys, this is way too hard. I don't know, maybe like a nice little steak. What about you guys? What's your favorite? Put me on the spot.
Honestly, I'd take him to McDonald's.
Favorite place to eat?
We're going to Tubtown. It's like, what's that? He pulled to McDonald's.
Yeah, don't worry about it, Gordon. That is a tough question. That one popped out in my head.
I don't think I don't have like a favorite place ever. I don't think I do. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel that.
I don't know. Yeah, I've never been, but there's the 801 Chop House or something in like the big principal building in Des Moines, like the Toss building. I think there's a restaurant on the top or the bottom floor that's supposedly very fancy and very good. But I'm not fancy enough or care enough to go there. But I'd probably bring them in there and just see his thoughts, I guess. I don't know.
There's just like a time and place for that stuff, like
that's true.
I love doing that stuff, but I also like love to do like the bar and grills and stuff like that. Like I couldn't choose one over the other.
Right.
I don't know about you guys. Like if you had a preference, that like would you guys go to a fancy? Because I know you guys
bar. Besides, if we've cut out Tubtown and all fast food, it'd be bar and grill.
Okay.
I have this weird thing with restaurants, and it literally bugs me every time I go to them. I don't know why they talk about how like the lighting in restaurants is trying to make this aesthetic, but I go to these restaurants and I'm like, yo, first of all, I can't see the person across the table from me. It's so dark in here. Why is it gotta be so dark? Like, turn some lights on.
Mhm.
And then it's so loud. Like, why is it everybody gotta be talking? Everyone shut up so I can talk.
Shut up so I can talk.
I get
But
that.
the
Yeah.
lighting bugs me so much. Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
there's something about lighting that I
Like,
feel like affects
I can
my
just see your
mood.
silhouette. Where are you? Yeah.
Yeah.
That.
I wonder if that comes from you being a videographer and light being such an important part in like everything you do. I
It
wonder if
might
that's
be.
just like a subconscious thing. Like if you can't see, it's like it's
I've
hard
kind
to
of always
enjoy it.
been like that though. Like, I remember at one point in college, I had this thing called the happy light. And it literally was like this light that like gave off these like UV rays that was like would
Yeah, like
like
a vitamin
produce
D
vitamin
lamp.
D, yeah. And I would turn that on when I was studying because if it was too dark, my mood would change. Weirdly, light changed my mood significantly.
Well, it's like the sun just decides to go on vacation for like 3 months in the Midwest too. And like,
Yeah, that's
peace
why
out.
the
I'm not.
winter can be
Yeah.
terrible.
hmm Yep.
Uh
That's why I go south.
he goes out
Yeah,
back down
gosh.
get down in good old Nashville.
We have a friend in Nashville, Hunter Berry.
Mhm.
Well,
She's a
is he a videographer?
photographer. She's a
Oh, cool.
photographer.
She's I think she's kind of big in the music scene as photography wise as well. So she does a lot of concerts and stuff, but she does a lot of
No way.
weddings in Iowa. So she's kind of back and forth a lot, I think.
That's
But,
awesome.
and then I think our friend Ryan Sims is in
Oh, he lives in Nashville too.
Nashville, maybe outside of Nashville, maybe Memphis, somewhere in Tennessee, I'm pretty sure. Shout out Ryan Sims if you're listening. Anyway, how would you say that your perspective on food and dining has changed as a result to you like reviewing these restaurants and going and trying all these new things? Like, have you always been the same way where you're just kind of like, I want to try all this stuff? Or yeah, we're just kind of curious how has that changed from before you started the foodie channel and then after?
Yes. Okay. So I think like the Instagram plus working in the industry changes your perspective so much. Um, like being a bartender, our owners and management, I work at a place called The Ridge and they have two other bars that are very successful and they've created a great community, but they just really drill into your head like the customer service and you just actually get to see the behind the scenes. So one doing that and then going to these places and meeting these people that are the managers, the bartenders, the front of house, back of house people, you just have so much more of an appreciation for the meal and the whole experience as a whole. Like it just really grinds my gears when people go out to eat and they just are rude to staff and aren't very appreciative. And it's like, these people are working hard to create a good experience for you. So I just have so much more of an appreciation for the people actually showing up to work and putting their all into it. Yeah, I think that's how it's changed.
Now, if
Yeah, that's
someone
all.
brings you, like if you ordered something and something is incorrect with your meal, do you point it out to them or are you like, I'll just eat it?
I just eat it.
You
I
sound like a
mean,
type 9. That's exactly how a type 9 Enneagram, if you know the Enneagram types.
Do you know your
oh
Enneagram type?
no, I don't.
That's exactly what I would do though. I would be like, it's all right, I'll eat it. Like if something shows
Yeah,
up, DoorDash shows up the wrong thing that I ordered, I'm like, it's whatever, I'll eat it.
yeah. I get like too when I'm like at a table and someone does say something, I almost get like a second hand, like, oh, like it's
Embarrassment.
fine. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I'm sorry, I'm
Yeah,
not with them.
I
I
have no
know.
idea
And
who
it's
they
like,
are. Yeah.
no, they should be able to say like this is wrong. Like, but I don't know
Yeah.
why. I'm
Right.
like, oh, don't
Yeah.
bother them. But like
As long as they do it in like a respectful way. Like I'm sure
for
there's
sure, yeah.
a bunch of Karens or whatever you call the guy Karen form out there
Yes.
that would be just so rude about it and ridiculous. But yeah, I don't think
Yes.
I've never sent something back either. I'm just like, I'll take it,
It is
whatever
what
it
it is.
is.
Yeah. I know. I am like working too. You get some of those people. Like, I remember one time I was delivering food and the ketchup like slid off the plate and like flew onto this girl's shoes. And they were like
Oh.
shoes you could just wipe it off. But she
Hmm.
was so mad. And you guys, it's like I was literally 15 at the time and I like will never forget it because I was like
Oh
so
gosh,
terrified.
that's probably why you won't say anything now.
Yeah, that's
I
traumatizing.
know. And it's just like, you guys, like things happen and
Mhm.
things happen. Like it gets me so worked up when people can be like so rude to staff. But it's also like vice versa. You also, you know, I get when people like bartenders and servers are having a bad day, but also like you need to be respectful and nice to the customers too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys worked in the food industry?
That was actually my first job. I was a dishwasher.
Really?
I
So
hated every second of it.
I don't
Yeah.
know if you'd consider my second job ever. I was a dietary aide at a retirement home, and I worked in like the Alzheimer's department. And I didn't make the food; I just served the food to like
Mhm.
the residents. And obviously they have like different allergies and stuff. So I
Yeah.
mean, that was like my first experience around food. But then I worked at Jimmy John's for like 2 years, which I guess technically is the food industry, but not as extreme as like a bartender or a chef or a waiter, waitress. So I don't know. I was just a delivery driver, but I mean, I made the subs. So I don't know.
You weren't
Yes,
just a delivery driver, you were a delivery driver.
I was the delivery driver. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably got
Good time.
tips.
Yeah,
Yeah.
minimum wage plus tips. Driving my old hail damaged Sebring around Waverly, Iowa. Good times. Good times.
Living the life.
Living the life. I'd go back to that job in a heartbeat. Honestly, it was pretty fun.
Why?
I'm kind of kidding, but kind of not. Yeah, I don't know. There was something super relaxing about like my job was driving around and delivering a sub, and as cliche, like as cheesy as it sounds, like you're providing something that makes them happy, and you're like, yeah, here you go, no problem. But
No, yeah.
good old Jimmy John's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I had a question that totally oh, so you get home from a busy day, you haven't really eaten anything, you haven't gone anywhere, but you're hungry, you're as hungry as you've ever been. What are you doing? Are you making
Wow.
something really quick? Do we have a specific place where we're grabbing fast food or we're going to a bar and grill? What's the move in
Okay.
that situation?
This happened to me the past 2 nights, so I'll tell you what I did. On Monday I got home and I was starving. So I warmed up a chocolate chip cookie and then I put like 4 scoops of vanilla ice cream on it and
That
then
sounds
drizzled like
incredible.
chocolate syrup all on top of it and that was divine. And then I made a pizza too.
Oh,
Um,
clutch.
There you go.
last night I was like, I'm so hungry, but I don't want to go get something, but also like I don't want anything here. So I DoorDash sushi. So
Sushi. Hmm.
DoorDash is like
yeah,
bad. We probably do it 70% of the time.
it's
It's just
dangerous.
it's just so convenient in like
So convenient. I'm
situation.
like the fact that I don't have to move at all and this stuff is like I'm so
Mhm.
lazy right now.
I
Like,
know that's one thing that I'm gonna have to change though once this. I know that when the kid is an infant and stuff like just gonna eat baby food and milk and stuff like that. But I know as soon as the kid starts to become older, we're gonna have to start making like meal planning
yeah,
because I can't just DoorDash all the time.
yeah.
Yeah, probably wouldn't be the healthiest for your baby
Who
to
knows?
eat
Maybe I'm gonna become a
chicken
foodie
nuggets.
and
A chef, a
I'll
foodie
become
chef.
really interested in cooking.
Maybe, you never know.
Could be. Let's see. Is there anything like I know we're just talking. Is there anything we haven't kind of chatted about that you want to bring up about kind of the industry that you're in? Obviously, Ben and I don't know much about it, and that's why we wanted to bring you on. But yeah, is there anything that you're like, we haven't chatted
Actually, I
about
have a
this here?
question. I have a question.
Go for it.
So when you're doing stuff like this, I had to do the same thing as like when I was starting my business. I had to like sort of figure out how I could start making money with it. Have you thought
Mhm.
about that as um as you like review stuff? Like I don't know like I would have to do research, but like I don't know how you could go about getting money for reviewing. I know you could do like if you eventually get enough followers where Instagram could pay you. Like TikTok currently pays me. Instagram kind of pays occasionally when they give you like reels to make, like, oh, make 5 by the end of the month and you get $100. But that's like that's not gonna pay the bills.
Okay.
But have you thought about how you want to like maybe turn it to like start to actually make, even if it starts as just like a small couple $100 a month?
Yeah, and like I was in a pretty decent place when I was in Iowa of charging people. I would charge like per post, or I would do like a bundle of like 3 posts
Oh,
and
that's
included
cool.
a reel. I did like Instagram takeovers, so I'd say like, here's the cost for me to go on your Instagram for 4 hours, do this many stories, do this many posts on your Instagram, blah blah blah. Here it's just such a different story because I'm like totally rebuilding myself. Like
Mm.
when I tell you I sent probably like 15 messages out a couple weeks ago to places and I didn't get any response from anyone because they're just like, who are you?
I get
It's
that.
so hard
Same
to
with wedding planners
rebuild
here.
your
We're trying to connect with
y-
wedding planners and we don't get responses.
yeah, it's just like
But
try like when you have a name somewhere like in the Quad Cities and then I come here where it's like there's so many more other Nashville foodies and I come in and it's like, why is this girl only has stuff from Iowa? Like they're probably like, who is this? So it's like what I'm trying to do is I'm going to places like showing them that I spend my money there and then reach out afterwards and be like, hey, I went to your place. I really enjoyed the atmosphere, the food, blah, blah, blah. And would you guys like to work together?
that's
So
cool.
still working on that. Like I had a big old chat with my dad where he was like before he came down to move me and before he left, he was like, this is kind of like the place to, if you want to have it take off, like this is where it's probably going to happen. So it's just trying to find the balance too with like my full-time job and this has been a challenge, but we're getting there.
That's cool.
Don't lose hope on Annie's Eats.
Oh, we're not losing hope. We're not losing hope.
Never. I foresee it becoming a pretty big thing too. I think
Thanks,
you're
guys.
onto something. So very cool.
Thanks,
Very
guys.
cool stuff.
Yeah. I really like too that like I feel like my page is very authentic in a way. Where it's like I show my face and stuff and I
Yeah.
think people really like that people kind of know part of me and like my background in addition to like my love for food and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing with like social media and stuff too, is social media, you're supposed to have a presence. You're supposed to have a brand. So the more you're showing your face and doing that stuff, the more people are going to be like, oh, like, yeah, I like her. She's cool. She's fun. She's doing this thing. And like, you feel more connected that way rather than if you were just like posting a picture of the food and being like, this
Yeah.
is really good. You should try it. But I think you're doing a really good
like,
job, but
do you guys know Max Gray guy at all?
I don't think
He
so.
does videography in his thing is the most famous Max. He's an incredible videographer.
Oh, the most famous Max?
Yeah.
I know Max. I was
That
at a wedding
sounds-
one time with him.
Yeah, he's super cool. But like probably for a year I never showed my face on my Instagram. And I like met with him for coffee one time and he was like, you need to start like pairing your brand with like you, like yourself. And
Oh,
like
absolutely.
it's so awkward. It's so awkward. Like I hate doing that stuff and it feels so weird too to be like, look at me, blah blah blah. But like that's the stuff that I notice gets more of the views because it's like, oh, there's the face behind the person doing all this.
Yeah. People want to feel connected and find something to relate to. And that's a lot easier to do when someone's there to actually relate to rather than just, I'm sure I don't really know what other foodie channels do, but I'm sure a lot of them or newer ones probably just post the food and then a little caption about it, which is fine. But the more interactive, like you said, you do those polls and stuff. That's how you, that's how you grow and get people to be truly invested and like be true followers to what you're doing. So that's all good stuff.
Yeah.
All good stuff.
I'm trying to think what you could do. I'm always like trying to think about an idea. What you could do is like a reel that would show your face. First thing that comes to mind would be like you have like they deliver the food. You have a camera and it's pointed towards you, and you like deliver this food, and it's like whatever song it's like consistent for every time you do this, but it's like a song that's just like this build up to your very first bite, and it's all we're waiting for is to see what your reaction is to that very first bite. And then like you do like it's good, and then that's the end of the reel right there. But whatever these places are, Annie's first bite or something. It's like the
Like,
series.
what's the song behind it?
I'm
Is there any
thinking
song?
in my head for some reason I think Jaws, but that would be kind of cheesy.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of like this build up song that's
Da-da.
like, oh, what's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? And then, I mean, most of the time it's always gonna be
I
good
like
or
it.
like moderate. I can't imagine you'd be like, no, this is not good. You can make a gag one though, where
Terrible.
like when like I don't know, it could be like your friend makes you something that's terrible or something.
Oh, and we
That's
hurt their
not a-
feelings.
I think
That's
the
not a
thing
bad-
with reels and like with TikTok, and I don't have TikTok, but like with reels and TikTok, you have to figure out how to make it relatable and shareable
Mhm.
to other people.
Yeah.
So if you can make it
It's-
like funny or be like, that's totally my reaction.
Yeah.
Or like
It's
even
so hard to go ahead.
I'm just thinking of a real idea right now. Just this one popped up. You make a reel being like the different types of people that order food, and you show
Mhm.
one person that opens it and goes, can you just what's your most popular item? And then you have another person that's like
Yeah.
looking at the menu, and then another person that just like I can't decide between this and this. So you have all these different types of people.
Yeah. The five types of people and how they choose
You're
to order
on
what
to
they're ordering.
something.
And so the people are gonna see
Why?
that and
Because
they're
it's gonna
gonna
be
be
posted
like,
today on my page.
dude, I mean,
Go
heck,
for it,
it'd be awesome if you did. But yeah, people will see that and they'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm totally number 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Or, oh
Yeah.
my
No,
gosh,
that's a good
this is my
idea.
husband. It's so frustrating.
No, I did one. It was like the Taylor Swift song, like "It's Me." Paul.
Oh
You know that
yeah,
one.
yeah.
I did it where it was like me like videoing people's food before they could eat, and it was like why my friends always eat cold food.
Oh yeah, that's a good
But
one.
that was like my one creative like moment in my life. But other than that, I'm like, I'm out of ideas. But it's so hard because
That's fun.
trends are always changing. It's like keeping up with that stuff
Mhm.
is a full-time job in itself.
Oh,
Like,
it's exhausting.
and
Yeah,
I mean, you
it's
guys know that too, where it's like you got to keep up.
Yeah. Now I'm just trying to think of ideas for reels and stuff for you. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Reels can be huge, but it's hard. We'll post some that get 2 views and then some that get hundreds of thousands of views.
I
Yeah.
know. I'm like, what
And
the?
sometimes I'm like,
it's-
this one's not going anywhere. And then all of a sudden you're like, wait, what? Why did this one get so much traction?
It's always the ones you're proud of that don't do well, and the ones you just like throw together really fast. That you're like,
I know.
kind of
Yeah.
funny that blow up. So,
Yeah.
but yeah. Well, was there? I know we've been talking for a while now. I mean, it feels extra long because this was the second episode, but this has went so much smoother. Is there anything that you want to chat about like I said, about the industry that we haven't really touched on? What like favorite parts, things you dislike about it, anything?
Maybe 2023 goals
Yeah,
for
what are your
Annie
20
Eats.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
That's
a
a
good
good-
one. Starting the new year. 2023 goals. I mean, obviously just growing the account for sure. I would love to double it. I know that's a very lofty goal in followers, but I would
It
just love
could
to-
happen overnight if you hit a reel right. I mean, I went in the span of a week, I went from like 2,500 to like 15K, like just
Yeah.
because of like one reel.
Oh wait, seriously?
Yeah, so you
Wait,
can
like you you went overnight in that.
Yeah, he went from like 4,000 to 14,000 in 24 hours.
yeah, and so if you like you post one reel that gets traction, it'll help you get more. You post you just have to be willing to keep following those up.
Mhm.
But man,
Yeah.
reels will help you blow up.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
were talking about
Oh yeah,
reels
double
earlier, but-
following and just grow my
Presence.
followers outside of the Quad Cities.
Yeah.
I've started to notice that I have some Nashville ones, but to be more recognized outside of there, I think will present so much more opportunities. But yeah, I mean, I haven't thought a lot about my goals, I guess. How about you guys? You guys told me your 2023 goals for your business.
We actually just did a whole that was our first podcast of the year, actually, talking
Yeah.
about that stuff.
Well, you want to grow your podcast.
Yeah, that
so
is a big one. We want to.
That's probably one of the main ones for both.
We just want to be
of
more
us is-
consistent, meet more people,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and I don't think we're necessarily worried so much about making money. I think since we started it in 2021, we've made about $7.50.
Yeah. So
Hey,
we're
it's
making a
getting there.
lot. Yeah.
It's getting
But we've
there.
actually if you break that down, that's actually not too bad for only making what was it been
15.
15 episodes?
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Pretty
about
good,
$3.
actually.
It's about $3 a year. we could live on, but $1.50 split between both of us. So I don't know.
So you guys could get 3 double cheeseburgers.
Actually,
That's
tough down trip. Yeah.
I'm actually strongly considering ordering Tubtown for lunch. I mean, McDonald's for lunch. Sorry.
You
You'll
guys
have
know
to-
what we should do when I get back?
What?
We should do a McDonald's thing where have you guys seen some of the McDonald's weird food trends?
Yeah,
Oh, that
actually, I
sounds
think-
interesting.
There's one where you get a orange high C and then you get a vanilla cone and you
Oh, I
roll
have
it in
seen
there,
that. That would be.
and it makes a creamsicle. So
Ooh,
might be a fun little video idea.
that would be a reel
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
You'll have to let us know when you're back, and I'll come out to Eastern Iowa and we'll do that. That'd be
The
that'd be so
nearest
fun.
Tubtown.
That would
Do
be
a
sweet.
a McDonald. What's it called? A mukbang? What are those? Where you just order a bunch of things from the menu and you just sit there and eat it all. I don't know. Does that sound weird? A mukbang?
It does, but
Hold on. I'm curious now.
There's something so nice about sitting down at McDonald's, ordering on your phone, and having it delivered to your table. I don't know if you've ever tried the table service, but it is,
Yeah, I
it is a
haven't.
weird experience. It's like, whoa, what?
And honestly, when I was looking up those photos and you guys were sitting down there, I was like, okay, they do the whole thing. They
Yeah,
really
and it's
soak in
like
the whole
it's
experience.
it's pretty traditional to go in and go up to the front table, but when you can literally walk in and sit down at a table without going to you literally don't even have to interact with anybody. They'll just bring
Yeah.
you your food, which is
Wow.
weird.
Wow. What a
But-
time to be alive.
What a time,
Honestly.
yeah, what a time. Those McDonald's rewards, they're something. But
Yeah,
a
if you don't have those, you should get those.
Yeah,
a
no.
mukbang, in simple terms, is a live streamed video where viewers watch the host eat. I don't know why I know that or
Perfect.
where I've seen that, but it's almost like a podcast. What we should have done, we'll do another podcast with you live, but we should all got our favorite fast food or something and
We should have
was
all
eating
been
while we do it.
McDonald's.
Dang it.
So we'll bring you on again and we'll do it in person. We'll just eat a bunch of food while we're doing this and
Oh my
talk
gosh,
about
I
it.
love that.
That
Yeah.
would be cool. That would be cool.
You'd probably be our first recurring guest at that point. But
Oh my gosh, I'm honored.
let's see.
I like that.
So I think we can kind of start to wrap it up here. I think this has been awesome so far. I've learned a lot, and it's just been fun talking about food. It's something we don't really do very often. But what we do kind of at the end of this, I don't know if you've watched some episodes or not, is we talk about something that recently has inspired us. And it can be big, it can be small, it can be anything. But we're going to let you start. And
So we can think about what.
so we can
inspired
think
us?
about what's inspired us because it gets a little difficult.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
golly. Okay. What has recently inspired me? You say. You guys, I need a minute.
No, you're good. And
Yeah, I
it
need a
doesn't.
minute too.
So, for example, Ben has done very ridiculous ones that have nothing to do with his job or anything, but he's talked about window blinds and how it's just inspiring that they can make them. Or he's talked about carpet that inspire, like his are very
What did I say about
carpet. Was it carpet or a lamp or something? I can't remember.
Lamp, yeah.
Or did you get
Lamp.
you got a new carpet for downstairs and it just like made your home feel, but I don't know. Anywhere. He goes far off. And you don't,
I know what I got now. There we go.
Okay.
Do it.
But it could be anything.
Okay, you go first, Ben.
Okay, this isn't even that cool of a thing, but Reed got this too, actually. But forever, the way I was working was like I had a laptop, so I was editing on my laptop, and then I also had a desktop computer. So like if I wanted to work on my laptop, I'd have to unplug my SSD, take it and put it on my desktop computer, which is kind of risky when you're constantly like moving data back and forth between computers and opening different softwares. So I ended up getting a laptop, really nice laptop, like one of Apple's best laptops you can get. And then I got this thing called a docking station, which essentially, when I'm working on my laptop, I can go wherever I want to go, but then I can also come to my office and I have one singular cord. I just plug that cord in and it makes it a desktop computer. I have this whole desk where it's set up for a desk, like a desktop PC kind of thing. Not a PC, but so it makes it extremely convenient. But as a creative, you sometimes get stuck. If you're in the same environment for too long, you get stuck mentally. So for me, it's super inspiring to be able to go wherever I need to go to get. So sometimes I'll go work. We just built a nursery, and lately I've been finding myself working in the nursery. I like sit in this new chair that we got, or I can go sit on the couch and work, or I can come and sit in this nice office that I should probably work in more often. But it's nice knowing that I can pick my laptop up and go wherever I want to go. Yeah.
I like that.
That's a good one. That wasn't as far off like when I told you.
Yeah, that wasn't.
I thought I sparked a thing for you when I said the lamp, but
well, I was like looking around. I could have said like beard oil.
Beard balm, yeah.
Beard balm. Yeah.
I do think we need to make like a reel of all of your ridiculous ones. But anyway, did you have enough time?
And, yeah, is it my turn?
I mean, I can go or you can go.
Oh, you go.
So yeah, yesterday, so Ben and I are part of this mastermind group. It's kind of a course. It's been a year-long course. And actually on Sunday, I'm flying out to Palm Springs, California to meet everyone. We're doing a big retreat. Sadly, Ben won't be there because he could be a dad at any moment. But there's a guy named Jason. He's from Scotland. And when we had this meeting, it was, what are they, like 6 hours ahead or something? So it was like 2 a.m.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
3 a.m. or something. But after the meeting, he like posted on our page and asked if anyone wanted to hop on Zoom. And I was like, yeah, sure. So me and him talked for like 2 hours on Zoom, and it was like 5:30 a.m. by the time we were done talking over there. But he's just a super inspiring dude to talk to. He's like, I don't know what it was, very just like very genuine and like appreciative of just everything around him. And I don't know if he's listening to this, but yeah, just a really good conversation that was super inspiring to me. Nothing like very specific of anything he said, but yeah, that's mine.
I like
that guy's
that.
got passion. He's got passion.
Yeah,
I think that's what's inspiring you.
I'm so excited to meet him in person.
Yay, that's awesome. Yeah. Okay, so mine is gonna be like not recently. I think it's gonna be like a 2022.
That's fine. Yeah, anything.
Okay, so like for me, I feel like I don't necessarily set like goals at the beginning of the year. I've kind of learned to like, I end the year and then I reflect and be like, okay, how did I grow? How did I learn from things that I did, etc. Okay.
That's cool.
So I'm just going to share my 2022 one was that all the people in my life that I realized that the ones like the relationships that I want to keep and the ones that I want to have are the ones that people want me to grow. Does that make sense? Like people that are like asking about my day and like what was I always do like what was your pit and your peak of the day? Like like those outlandish questions instead of like, when you find yourself with friends that are like a little bit more gossipy and stuff like that. Like, I feel like the people that are more inspiring to me are the ones that like want to get to know me more, want to help me grow, and like vice versa, me to them. So there's just so many of those relationships that I have. And like one I met like through my foodie stuff. His name is Casey Cup. And like we just talked on the phone recently, and him just like checking in on me, and like it's just such a wholesome relationship versus like some of those ones that are a little bit more shallow, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
get that.
my answer was a little bit different, but
No, I like
that's a super good one. That reminds me of like one of my favorite. It's not a quote, but just things that people say a lot is like, you are just like, you are the sum of the people you spend time with, right? The people around
yeah.
you. So that, I mean, right there, I mean, that's a perfect example of that. And then that's super inspiring what you said. So I think, not that we have a competition, but I think Annie wins on
Yeah, that was
on the
good.
inspiring things.
Well, thanks, guys.
We should start that with at least you and I, Ben, where we're like, all right, whose was better?
Yeah.
Whose was more inspiring?
whose inspiration is better? But no,
Whose
that
was the
yeah,
most outlandish? Yeah.
that's so funny.
Cool.
But yeah, that was awesome.
Cool.
All right, before we hop off, any last minute thoughts, questions?
No, I just want to say thank you guys. You two are incredible. And although I've only met you guys in person once, it's been so cool to follow you guys on Instagram and see you guys grow too. So I hope that we get to do this again, or at least we get to do a video or something in the future, because you guys are awesome.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
We appreciate you coming on and kind of talking about your story a little bit too. And it's been fun to hear about, and it's refreshing as well, because like Ben and I were just 100% in weddings, you know, that's all we're doing. So it's fun to hear about other creative endeavors outside of the wedding industry. And I think a lot of our listeners, a lot of them, whatever it is, 30 or blah blah blah, but people enjoy that too. It's very inspiring and motivating to see other people and what they're doing and what they're passionate about. So yeah, so thanks for coming on. Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, well, thank you everybody for tuning in and watching and listening and viewing and subscribe. It sounds so YouTuber when I do that. I don't know why I say that.
Thank you for liking and subscribing.
like and subscribe. But anyway, thank you. And then that's it. I never know how to end these, so just everyone throw up a
Peace out.
Peace.
Woo!
Bye.
Yeah, deuces.
Yeah.